people judge me for my intrinsic happiness. Is that something that sounds familiar to you? If so, then let us let it go together now. It is something that I've been dealing with for years already, actually. Ever since I was a little child, and I've told it before for the people that haven't seen other videos of me yet. Ever since I was a little child, I was an intrinsic happy being, and I actually still am. The funny thing about it is, when you're intrinsically happy, people that aren't and are miserable or feeling miserable, perhaps because they carry a lot of grief, are very sad or disappointed in life, they tend to not want to share that feeling of happiness and joy with you. No, they want to pull you down. They want to drag you down to a place of misery. They even told me that because of my intrinsic happiness, I was or am naive, and that I don't have a lot of experience in life. I don't know what intrinsic happiness and experience or experience has to do with feeling and being miserable in life, or and why experience and intrinsic happiness don't go together is a real mystery to me, if I'm honest. And just in my work, I find it important to ask people questions so that the pain and grief, the sadness and disappointment in things, in people, in situations, in life, can come to the surface and be acknowledged, so that then they're able to release it, to let it go and be joyful again, because that is who they intrinsically are. So why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't we be happy? Why shouldn't we want others people to be happy and joyful and want to share that with them? Why shouldn't we? It is something, again, what I said, that I've been dealing with for years now. It sounds funny, but it is true. It is reality. There are people that really get hysterical about my presence altogether. For me just being there, for me just being present, it annoys them. Why? Because I'm intrinsically happy. And then I say, well, if that was my partner sneezing in the background. And then I feel like, okay, so if I'm annoying you with my happiness, then why don't you just leave and leave me alone in my happiness, in my lightness, in my... Why do you want me to feel miserable? And I do acknowledge people's sadness, people's pain, people's grief. I always do, and I always did, even when I was a child. And that is exactly the entire thing. At one point, I started feeling burdened by the fact that I felt intrinsically happy, and the people surrounding me, that I saw their burdens, their grief, their heaviness. And because I have so much empathy, I started to feel like, and people even told me, that by being who I am, that I was hurting people, other people. And it was really like, wow, I don't want to hurt people. On the contrary, I want people to be happy and feel good about themselves. So I started feeling burdened by being happy and joyful and wanting to share that with people. And of course, I'm not forcing anyone to be happy, because that wouldn't be good either. But I actually never did. The reason I'm sharing this is because after my latest video, Have Faith, I was talking a little bit about this subject, and after the video, I got immediate inspiration for a new video that is about taboos and breaking taboos. And it might be in a total different way that some people might expect. But I felt that first I had to have this from my chest. So also, it's in personal life as well, but also in business and entrepreneurship. That is a really heavy topic. When I say that people tell me that I have no experience in life when I'm happy and joyful and light and sparkling, etc., and I'm very naive and don't know what life is all about, and don't know what business is all about, and when I'm listening year in, year out to people that have all the experience and are so successful, and they're saying, they're actually saying that you have to feel miserable to be able to be successful, and to be successful in life even, and that they know it all. And if you're just playing around the way they perceive it, when you're happy and joyful and just being who you are and doing what you do out of joy and happiness and lightness, and then they say that you don't know what you're doing, you don't have any experience, and you should listen to them, you should do this, you should do that, and you should and I found out, actually, I'm sorry, I always say that I'm like a ball that you want to push underwater, and then bam, I jump out of the water again, because of these are the laws of nature. I just naturally pop up again because I can't, it just doesn't resonate with me. It just doesn't fit me, being suppressed all the time and letting me suppress all the time by anyone. And so I pop up again and I'm doing my thing. And from the beginning, when I started my business, I've done that. I've you know, I've always been a happy individual. People have always known me like that. I was singing, dancing, doing art, design. I was social. I did sports, etc. And very broad indeed. And it made me happy, and I shared that with people. And that is who I am. And people liked it, and they want to share, enjoy with me. They enjoyed it as well. And they liked the way I was. They liked the way I intrinsically am. That is what people come to me for. So when people say, no, you should behave differently, because then you are credible. Then you gain credibility in life when you act tough and everything is heavy and you're being how to say it, unhappy all the time and putting angry face on, etc. And yes, of course, at times when I'm really fed up with people wanting to push me in misery, then I indeed draw my boundaries very clearly, and then people might think and feel that I've changed and that I'm different, but I'm just plain drawing my boundaries and making them clear and saying it's enough now. I am who I am, and I have a lot of experience being happy and healthy and joyful and helping people with that. I even, in a lot of the testimonials that people have written about me or have shared with me, the red thread in it, or the golden thread, or the crystalline thread, whatever you want to call it, is that I'm happy and calm. And that is what they like to see. That is what they like to experience. And that is what helps them to become lighter as well and to drop all their baggage and to feel good about themselves again, to feel good about life again, etc. And as I said before, I do acknowledge grief and pain, etc. But I'm not dwelling in it all along, and I don't let people dwell in it all along. And I want to lift them up, not for me, for them, and for the greater good. Because when people are happy and joyful and feeling light and abundant and healthy, everything and anyone can benefit from that. For the people that are committing war, I would like to ask you to stop making a fool out of yourself, because it benefits no one, neither does it benefit you yourself. And I do acknowledge your pain, your grief, perhaps, your sadness, and your disappointment in maybe everything and everyone. And maybe it's not even about you yourself. Maybe it's about the pain and grief and all the hardship your ancestors went through that you want to take revenge on. We totally understand it, but it isn't the right way to change things. It isn't the right way to transmute and heal things and to make the best out of life for everyone and anyone involved. So step out of it. You always have the chance to choose again. And don't let anyone tell you you should be or feel miserable. Don't let anyone bully you. Never become your intrinsic bully yourself, and never bully others because you feel miserable. So I'm not talking about people that use their experience in life to inspire others and lift them up. I'm talking about real, miserable interactions, toxic interactions. And I decided long ago actually already, and time after time, but I really want to share this with you all now, that I stop letting me pull down to miserable spheres because I don't belong there. It's just not who I am, and I will never be. And when people think that when I'm happy and delighted and light and joyful and playful, they think I'm wearing a mask, I don't. When you force me to feel miserable and down and pull and lift a lot of heavy weight because I should, because others need that from me, which I don't believe, then you are asking me or forcing me to wear a mask. So it's the other way around. When you are pulling on that mask of unhappiness when you're intrinsically happy, just to please others, then please stop, because you're telling people a lie all the time. And just because others taught you to lie your entire life, all along, and you feel unhappy about that, just because they say that you have to lie all the time about who you are, doesn't mean you have to. So just drop it, let it go, release it. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Okay, so for the people that do feel what I'm talking about and are done of all the drama, etc., just like I am, because life is way too short for that. You're all welcome to connect with me. I'd really like that. And for the rest that do feel sad or even miserable and you do want to change that, you're also very welcome. But don't ever expect from me that I'm going to miserable places because you think I should. I will never, ever, ever do that. And when I am there for a short time, I always feel like this isn't me. I don't belong here. I should pop out of it right away. And then I do. So I invite you all to connect with me if this resonates with you. And see you next time. As I said before, there's another video coming up again. But first I wanted to share this. And yes, I do things spontaneously when it feels like that, because it is aligned with all that is, with the divine, with life. And I don't let people tell me that I shouldn't, because I love life. I'm happy about life. And I'm allowed to be happy and appreciate life. And again, I'm not judging those that try to pull me down, but again, I'm not going there. If you want, you can come to happier places. And if you don't, just leave. And just let it be the way it is for others as well. When they're happy and joyful, let them be. And when you're ready, join them. Okay, bye everyone, and until next time. Yoo!